You gave me love like it was endless. I spent it like it couldn't end. You gave me mornings at the window, coffee waiting by my side. You learned the things I never told you. You could read them in my eyes. You made a home out of my chaos. I made your kindness feel too small. You kept reaching through the distance. I kept giving you all. I thought love renewed itself, no matter what I failed to do. Now every empty room reminds me how much love I wasted from you. This is the love I wasted, the heart I should have saved, the tenderness I treated like it would never walk away. You gave me more than I could name. I gave you reasons not to stay. Now every night I face it. This is the love I wasted. You used to ask for 50 minutes just to talk before we slept. I always said tomorrow maybe, like tomorrow was a debt. You stopped asking for my attention. You stopped waiting by the phone. I thought you finally understood me. You were learning to be alone. Love doesn't vanish in a moment. It gets tired day by day. And one day someone stops believing that you'll ever choose to change. This is the love I wasted, the heart I should have saved, the tenderness I treated like you would never walk away. You gave me more than I could name. I gave you reasons not to stay. Now every night I face it. This is the love I wasted. If I could pay you back in kindness, I would spend my whole life through. But some debts are only lessons when the person owed is through. This is the love I wasted, and losing you has named it. The time, the trust, the tenderness I thought would always wait. You gave me everything you had. I gave too little, far too late. Now I will never waste again the kind of love you gave. You gave me love like it was endless. I know now nothing is. You're asking for so little. I made it feel like too much. You wanted me to look at you when you were telling me your day. You wanted one goodnight kiss before I turned away. You wanted me to notice when your smile was wearing thin. You never asked for miracles, you only asked me in. Everything you were asking for was something love gives free. You were asking for so little, a little time, a little truth, a little softness in my voice, a little room for you. You weren't asking for forever, you were asking for today. You were asking for so little, and I still pushed you away. You wanted me beside you when your mother wasn't well. You wanted me to listen, not to tell you how to feel. You wanted reassurance that you mattered in my life. I said, why do you need to hear it? Now I hear that every night. You didn't need perfection, you needed me to care. The saddest part of losing you is knowing you were simple there. You were asking for so little, a little time, a little truth, a little softness in my voice, a little room for you. You weren't asking for forever, you were asking for today. You were asking for so little, and I still pushed you away. If someone asked me for affection, I will never call it weak. I learned from losing your good heart that love deserves to speak. You were asking for so little, but I understand it now. Love is made of little moments, not the promises we share. You were asking me to love you in the ordinary way. You were asking for so little, and I learned too late to stay. So little, and I gave less. I thought you'd always stay. That was my cruelest mistake. You left before an argument, but always came back home. So every time I hurt you, I believed I'd never lose. I thought your love was stronger than every careless thing. I didn't know the strongest hearts still break from carrying. I confused your patience with permission to be cold. I thought forever meant you'd never learn to let me go. I thought you'd always stay, no matter what I did. I thought love meant returning, no matter how it lived. I thought your heart was endless, I thought mine had time to change. I thought you'd always stay until the day you didn't. Your suitcase by the doorway didn't scare me like it should. I thought you'd cool down somewhere, then come back like you always would. But morning found the room unchanged. The evening did the same. And suddenly forever was an empty kind of name. There are lessons we believe only after losing proof. You love me more than anyone, but love could still leave too. I thought you'd always stay, no matter what I did. I thought love meant returning, no matter how it lived. I thought your heart was endless. I thought mine had time to change. I thought you'd always stay until the day you didn't. I know now love is not a promise someone makes against themselves. You can love a person deeply and still leave to save yourself. I thought you'd always stay. Now I know that love needs care. It cannot live forever on one person always there. You taught me nothing is guaranteed, not even love that feels that way. I thought you'd always stay, and that is why you couldn't. You stayed so long, I thought you always would. Your name lit up my phone that night. I watched it disappear. You called me once at midnight, then again at 12:03. I saw your name beside me, but I didn't wanna speak. I thought he'll call tomorrow. I turned the screen face down. I didn't know that silence would become our final sound. Sometimes one small moment carries more than we can see. Sometimes an unanswered phone becomes a memory. The call I didn't answer still rings inside my head. All the things you might have told me, all the words I never heard. Maybe you were saying goodbye, maybe asking me to stay. The call I didn't answer still calls me every day. I checked my phone next morning. There was nothing after that. No message filled with anger, no request to call you back. 3 days later you were gone, and suddenly I knew you had stopped asking for someone who wouldn't answer you. I would pick up in a heartbeat if that night returned somehow, but regret always has perfect timing. When there's no one calling now, the call I didn't answer still rings inside my head. All the never ring again. Your name lit up my phone that night, and I let it fade. Your side of the closet still has room for you. I moved your shirts in boxes, but your hanger stayed behind. Little empty wooden outlines of another kind of life. Your favorite coat is missing, but I still see where it hung. I used to hate the way you left it. Now I miss what I complained of. The strangest things become sacred when somebody goes away. A hanger drawer, a little space can carry yesterday. Your side of the closet is empty but not free. There's still a shape of someone who once belonged with me. I gave you half the bedroom, you gave me all your heart. Now your side of the closet feels bigger in the dark. I found a scarf you forgot behind a jacket of mine. I held it to my face and lost another hour at a time. I almost sent a message, then remembered what I know. You left more than your clothing, and I have to let it go. Love leaves little footprints in places no one sees, and every empty shelf tonight still knows your history. Your side of the closet is empty but not free. There's still a shape of someone who once belonged with me. I gave you half the bedroom, you gave me all your heart. Now your side of the closet feels bigger in the dark. Tomorrow I'll remove the hangers I've avoided all this year. Not because I stopped remembering, but because you're no longer here. Your side of the closet will finally hold my things, not replacing what we once were, just accepting what this means. You had a place beside me, I wish I valued from the start. Your side of the closet still lives inside my heart. One empty hanger, one less reason to wait. She held your hand the way I should have. I saw you crossing downtown with a woman by your side, her fingers wrapped around yours, and peace was in your eyes. You looked at her when she was speaking, like every word had weight. I remembered all the times you waited while I looked away. I thought jealousy would find me, but something sadder came. I saw the future we once pictured, walk walking by with someone else's name. I saw a future in her hands, the life I never learned to plan. The morning walks, the quiet nights, the simple love I didn't recognize. She wasn't taking you from me, you had already become free. I saw a future in her hands and finally understood. Maybe she knows your coffee, maybe she knows when you're afraid. Maybe she listens through your silence instead of turning it away. I hope she never makes you wonder whether tenderness is wrong. I hope you feel inside her arms like you finally belong. It hurts to see another person living what I threw away, but healing is not stealing, and love is not a claim. I saw a future in her hands, the life I never learned to plan. The morning walks, the quiet nights, the simple love I didn't recognize. She wasn't taking you from me, you had already become free. I saw a future in her hands and finally understood. I will not wish her gone just because I wish I changed. You deserve the kind of love that never makes you beg to stay. I saw your future in her hands, and this time I called it yours. Not the dream that I once promised, not the life I lost before. She didn't steal what should be mine, you chose a safer life. I saw your future in her hands and let you walk on by. She held your hand and I let go. You don't miss me anymore, I can see it in your peace. There was a time you checked my pages, there was a time you asked our friends, there was a time my name could hurt you like the story had no end. No months can pass without a message, without a shadow on your face. I used to pray that you would heal, I didn't know what healing takes. Healing means one day my memory will stop feeling like a wound, and the hardest thing to swallow is knowing that day came for you. You don't miss me anymore, and I should be glad for you. You don't wake up reaching backward, you don't hurt the way you used to. I wanted you to find your peace, I just didn't know it meant. You don't miss me anymore, and I'm learning to accept it. You heard our song at someone's party and your smile did not disappear. Someone told me you stayed dancing like my ghost was nowhere near. I cried when they described it, then I laughed through all the tears, because freedom looks beautiful on the heart I trapped for years. I cannot ask you to remember just because forgetting hurts. Your healing does not punish me, gratitude instead. You don't miss me anymore, and tonight I bless the truth. I was once your deepest sadness, now you're finally living through. I won't ask your healed heart to become wounded once again. You don't miss me anymore, and that is how this story ends. You're okay, and I will be. I kept your photographs, but lost the way you felt. I kept the movie tickets, every birthday card you wrote. I kept the little necklace and your old forgotten coat. I saved the anniversary gifts, I labeled every box. But while I guarded souvenirs, I let your heart get lost. I thought memories were objects, something safely stored away. But love is how you treat somebody while they're standing there today. I kept the wrong things, the pictures, not the feeling, the letters, not the listening, the promises, not meaning. I kept everything that proved that once there wasn't us. I kept the wrong things and lost the one I loved. I kept the flowers you once dried inside a book upstairs, but I forgot to notice how exhausted you look there. I remembered every date, but not the words that made you cry. I collected all our history while our future quietly died. Love is not a museum, it cannot live behind the glass. You have to hold it while it's breathing, or it becomes the past. I kept the wrong things, the pictures, not the feeling, the letters, not the listening, the promises, not meaning. I kept everything that proved that once there wasn't us. I kept the wrong things and lost the one I love. Tonight I'll close the boxes and keep only what they teach, that love is not possession, it is presence within reach. I kept the wrong things, but now I know what matters. The time, the truth, the tenderness, the holding through disasters. I cannot keep you anymore, and memory isn't enough. I kept the wrong things, but finally learned to love. I kept the photographs, now I'll keep the lesson. I became the woman you needed after you stopped needing me. I listen when people speak now. I don't turn every truth to war. I learned that saying I'm sorry doesn't make me less than before. I learned to answer tenderness without looking for escape. I learned that love needs daily care, not promises made too late. Everything you tried to teach me finally lives inside my skin. The cruelest part of growing is knowing when the growth begins. I became the woman you needed after you stopped needing me. I learned to give the softness you were begging me to see. I learned to stay through hard things. I learned what love should be. I became the woman you needed, just too late for you and me. Sometimes I wish you could meet her, the woman standing here today. But I know that isn't fair after everything I made you pay. You shouldn't have to reopen a wound you worked so hard to close. My change cannot become a reason to disturb the peace you chose. Growth does not earn forgiveness, and healing doesn't buy return. Some lessons change your future without changing where you learned. I became the woman you needed after you stopped needing me. I learned to give the softness you were begging me to see. I learned to stay through hard things. I learned what love should be. I became the woman you needed, just too late for you and me. So I'll thank you from a distance for the mirror that you were. I hate the cost of losing you, but I won't waste what I learned. I became the woman you needed, and I'll honor that somehow by loving every future heart the way I know to now. You never got this version, and that truth will stay with me. I became the woman you needed after you became free. You needed her then, I found her now. I hope you never need me again, not the way you did before. I hope when darkness finds you, there is someone by your side, someone who hears the quiet before you have to say you're not alright. I hope when you need comfort, you don't question if you should. I hope love feels like shelter, like I always knew it could. I used to want you missing me because it made our love feel real. Now I know real love can wish someone a life where they don't need to heal. I hope you never need me again to answer what I wouldn't then. I We're losing someone tells. I'll carry what I learned from you without pulling at your hand. I hope you never need me again. And now I finally understand. Go where love feels safe. I'll do the same.